Well, the audio is not that great on this video, so I just figured I'd give a little breakdown of what's going on. First few spots we tried this morning weren't very good. They were a little too close to the mainland, and I guess all the bait and fish must have moved out because I tried 10 to 20 foot drop on a main lake point. Really wasn't any fish there. Fished some brush piles and about 23. Looked like there was some crappie on them, but that was about it. And I tried a hump in 25 foot hump, even throwing out to the deep side of the hump, coming up and the top of the hump. I think I had one nib out there, so I was trolling to another deeper spot on the edge of the river, and graph started looking good, so I dropped that 1 ounce spoon down there, and I think this is getting close to catching that first white bass. Wasn't a large white bass, but there was plenty of fish down there, so just kept on pumping it. Just stroking that thing off the bottom. Let it come down on a semi-slack line, just pop it up and follow it back down. Most of the time they'll hit it on the drop. Other times you'll just pull up and they'll have it. You just feel heavy. Got a front coming in. It's kind of stalling out on top of us, so this was in between rain and clouds and sun, and wasn't too hot, so it was okay to fish. This was a morning trip from, I guess, about 7. Started around 7. Hadn't been fishing in about a month, so I was kind of getting a feel of things. Usually takes a little while after you lay off for a month to figure out what they want to hit. With the old spoon, it's a good way to locate fish. But this is just a edge of the river deal. The river makes a bend right here, about 27 to 30 foot deep. Seems like every bite I got though was pretty much on that 27, 28. There's like a little, I guess, clay bluff or something down there. I probably fished that spoon for about 30 minutes. I only caught 2 fish on the spoon on video, and the dang battery died on my phone, so the last spoonfish, you don't even get to see it. It was a good 2-pound white bass. It was suspended in the treetop, and would have been a awesome catch, actually. saw the fish on live scope, watching the spoon, and I mean, it would have been perfect, but that's how it goes. So I then switched to the Carolina rig right here. It wasn't happening with the spoon. I figured I'd go ahead and drag something real slow. There was hundreds of fish on the live scope, but the only thing that would hit the spoon was the whites and the yellows. This is actually a Kentucky right here. Just dragging it super slow. Not really a whole lot of technique other than just dragging it real slow. Let those Kentuckys get a chance at it. There's so much competition down there that anything moving fast, I don't think they wanted to mess with it because the white bass and yellow bass were schooled up so heavy. So I figured if I just dragged something real slow, that usually the white bass and yellow bass don't really mess with a brush hog too much, and the Kentuckys that have a chance to get it, since they're not wanting to chase anything. If it had been a bigger school of Kentuckys or blacks or something, and not near the white bass, then the spoon would have worked on them. I'm thinking if I go back tomorrow, probably do like a shaky head or a drop shot if it's not too windy, as those Kentuckys really love a drop shot. And since these are small fish, it's also kind of a smaller fish lure. You can catch some big ones on it, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a little dribbler. But those Kentuckys are good to eat, so I might get a little mess of them for the freezer. I was messing with the live scope, and I had been crappie fishing, and it was tuned up for crappie and brush piles, and I had to crank up I think it was color gain. And to crank up the color gain, I could see my lure a lot better. When you're fishing straight down, like too much color gain on those brush piles, it kind of makes them blurry, so you kind of got to cut it back a little bit. But we got it dialed in, and I also adjusted the angle on the transducer, where the main beam was 2 notches higher than what they recommend. But if you're fishing in front of the boat or straight down, it doesn't affect the cone. You still get a good image straight down. Oh, I had a Kentucky completely rip that brush hog off. Just a little tip was left. Gotta get a new brush hog. right there. Ziploc bag full of them. Got about a 1/2 ounce Carolina rig and a 2.5 foot leader. 2-aught Gamakatsu. Might try a little bit bigger one, maybe a 1 ounce or something. I can fish it a little faster in that deeper water. You can work it faster and it'll stay on the bottom. That's the main thing. You still want to stay on the bottom. This was a dash mount I got, but I don't know. I might have to start using the little chest mount because I can start and stop the video and save my battery and actually get maybe a few more fish catches on there without having to do so much editing. Well, that editing was sucks on this app. Or maybe I just suck at editing. I don't know. Hooked up with another Kentucky right here. They're all about the same, about 10 to 12 inches. No real giant Kentuckys, but they're big enough to fillet, that's for sure. I was gonna try and get on the graph and highlight this depth range and see if there aren't a couple more bends in the river that set up like this one. I guess it has to be just right. I don't know. I didn't have any luck on points. This was a river bend. I'm thinking if I set the depth shading where it highlights that 27 to 30 foot. There's a few river bends in the area that might have a flat leading up to them where they kind of just brush by that right depth. I did have one bite throwing out and coming up the drop with the spoon. I'm thinking maybe I could try that angle a little bit more. I need that 1 ounce to really get down there quick though, because when you're throwing into 40, you want to hit bottom quick, and that 1/2 ounce just kills you. It takes too long to get down there. Maybe a fluke or a French fry or something tomorrow too. Kind of switch it up because they definitely got an eye full of brush hog for about an hour. See, we're just slow dragging it. I mean, I tried to hop it, but that was what was working. I think I caught like 6 Kentuckys total, 2 yellow bass, and 2 white bass. I was on that school for a good hour and a half, but dang, camera died. But I also have a backup battery. Thinking about bringing that too. Oh, that one was swimming with it. I never felt them hit it. It just got light. I was reeling up the slack, and finally just a little tug. I know they look tiny, but I guarantee you they were all 10 to 12 inches, which is not big, but you get, 6 or 8 of those, you can catch your limit. If you can get you 8 of them, that'll fill up a quart bag. That's some good eating fish too. Yeah, just slow dragging. Not a whole lot of excitement here, but for not fishing for a month, it wasn't too shabby. I think I got one more fish to catch, and that about wraps it up for this little session. Oh, there we go again. Well, if you made it this far, you're a champion. Just got done watching the Astros beat the F out of the White Sox like 21-5. So, I mean, today was a glorious day in my book. A good little 10-fish run. Astros whooping it. And I whipped up a batch of sausage and egg sliders this morning and a spaghetti for dinner. About to pass out.